Bright orange, looking like a prison wave cap. What's going on, man? Yo, what's good people, it's that GTLD and I'm back with another video, man. Now today I'm gonna be covering the process of wolfing. Alright, we're gonna be covering wolfing, so we're back with the Wave 101 playlist, man. If you haven't already, go check out the playlist, man. Card in the top right, everything that you need to know about getting waves, man. Step by step, I got you. But yeah, in this video, we're gonna be talking about wolfing, what wolfing is, when you are wolfing, so how to know when you're wolfing, when to stop wolfing, the benefits of wolfing, the do's and the don'ts, man. We're gonna get into all of that. So make sure you like this video because I know it's gonna help you. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're soon to hit 100 subs, we're almost there, man. And make sure you click the bell so you get notified next time I drop a video, man. So you know, let's go.
Even you what do for a decent house and a plate of food. Better pay, don't make the news. That's raw.
Alright, man, so let's get straight into this video. So the first thing to cover really is what is wolfing. I've covered this in previous videos. What is wolfing? Wolfing is the process of laying your head down.
What?
Wolfing is the process of growing your hair out while brushing. Alright, now the reason why I say while brushing is because there's no point wolfing if you ain't gonna brush. It don't make any sense. Alright, people will just leave out the brushing part and they just say it's growing your hair out. Like, if you've got curly hair, long curly hair, and you're growing it out and you sponging it, you're not wolfing. That's not wolfing. You gotta be brushing your hair because you're wolfing to get waves or to better your waves. Alright, so that takes us nicely to why would you want to wolf? Well, generally people want to wolf because they want to better their waves in one way or another, whether that's working on your connections, whether that's training your hair to lie down, whether that's breaking forks, whatever reason you may have, you generally wolf for a purpose. So what are the benefits of wolfing? So the first benefit of wolfing is going to train your hair to lie down. Alright, so when you first start getting waves, one of the most difficult things for you is going to be training your hair to lie down flat on your head because your hair is going to be used to growing up. So you need to train it to lie flat and to grow out lying flat on your head. And that's exactly what the do-rag does. So that's why you gotta stay with your do-rag while you're wolfing, man. You gotta try and keep your hair as laid down as possible while you're wolfing. While you're wolfing, if you're not brushing, you should have your do-rag on, because that's gonna train your hair to lie flat, especially if you're just starting to get waves. All right, so the second benefit is it's gonna help you to get better connections. All right, because while you're brushing your hair, while you're growing it out, you're getting down to all the new growth that comes underneath, all right? And that new growth is gonna be trained to go in the pattern that you're brushing, all right? If you wanna know more about how to brush for different wave patterns, I did a video on that, man. Card in the top right, go check it out, man. But as you're brushing your hair into those patterns, it's gonna be taking in the new growth as well. So your hair is gonna learn and be trained to grow into that pattern. The third is breaking forks, okay? You're able to better break forks for the same reason. As you're brushing it and as that new growth is coming, you're gonna be brushing it into the direction you want it to go in, all right? It's gonna brush that fork or whatever, that imperfection that you wanna get out, it's gonna brush it out of your hair. So the longer you can wolf for, the more chance you have of breaking that fork, as long as you are brushing during that wolf. So that leads nicely into number 4, which is fixing your pattern, okay? So if you want to fix your pattern, change your pattern, you're going to need to wolf in order to do that. And then the last point is to fix your crown. You're going to need to grow out your crown because a lot of people find their crown is quite thin. So if you want to fix your crown, you're going to need to grow that out. And how do you do that? By wolfing, all right? Simple, man, come on. So those are the benefits of wolfing, all right? So let's talk about some of the risks or the drawbacks or the difficulties, let's say, that you might face when you're wolfing, all right? The first difficulty is that the longer you wolf for, the harder it's gonna be to lay down your hair. That's just a fact because you're gonna have more of it, especially if you're just beginning. As your hair's growing, that new growth is not gonna be trained to lay down. So it's gonna be harder to lay it down. And that's gonna lead on to the second point, which is you're more likely to have frizz in your hair, all right? Because as it stops being laid down so much,
hairs are just gonna start popping out, curling up. It's not gonna lie, it's gonna be
a problem. It's gonna lead to over curling, all right? Over curling is when you know you need to stop wolfing, but we're gonna get into that in more detail. The third difficulty that you're gonna find when you're wolfing is hitting that lower level of growth, all right? So you're gonna need to make sure that you step up your brushes. So if you're using a medium, you might need to go up to a hard so you can actually get underneath the hair at the top to that lower level of hair. So the longer you wolf for, the more difficult it's gonna be to get to that lower level. So when do you know that you have started wolfing, all right? So you start wolfing at the point where you would have normally got a haircut, all right? So let's say you go to the barbers and you get a level 1, all right? And you normally wait about 2 weeks before you got another haircut. At that 2-week point, you are now wolfing, okay? So if you normally go to the barbers and you get a level 2, and then in 2 weeks time, you get another haircut. At that 2-week point, you are now wolfing, okay? So that's when you start your first week of your wolf. And then from then on, that's when you start progressing into later weeks, all right? So how long should you wolf for? Well, depending on your hair type, I've got a video talking about hair type. If you want to watch that, card in the top right, go check it out. But depending on your hair type will depend on really how long you should be wolfing for. Typically I would say your wolfing period is going to go from anywhere between 2 to 12 weeks, all right? So if you have type 4 hair like me, you're probably gonna wolf anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks. I would say 6 is the absolute maximum, and that's if your hair is super trained. You shouldn't be going longer than 6 weeks really, because you're not gonna get that much more benefit from it. It's gonna be diminishing returns. Top set, I told you I'm a genius. But you're gonna find diminishing returns past that point. So I'd say for beginners, first starting out, try to go anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks. Don't go longer than 4 weeks if you're just starting out. And then as your hair gets more and more trained, you can go further and further and closer to that 6-week point. Now if you have type 2 or type 3 hair, you can go longer than that. You can go up to 8 weeks, 10 weeks. I wouldn't say there's any point in going longer than 12 weeks. When you see people going 15, 16, 20 week wolves, those are normally for like challenges or like videos and stuff. It's not because they have to do that or because it gives them any kind of benefit. It's just it's like a trophy to say they've done a 22-week wolf, which you don't really need, so there's no point in that. So when do you know that you should stop wolfing? A surefire sign that you should stop wolfing is when you start to overcurl. Overcurling is when your hair is no longer laying down, it's starting to curl up, you know, it's not really following. You can't really, you're starting to not be able to see your waves as well. That's when you know you're over curling, all right? I am currently in my 5th week of my wolf right now. Oh my God! I am starting to over curl, so I'm gonna show you what the waves look like right now. All right, so I mean, they're not bad right now. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. You know, we're keeping it pretty laid, but it is starting to over curl in certain points. I don't know if you can see, but like here, for example, it's curling up out of the pattern. Here it's starting to curl up out of the pattern as well. Like they're not as laid as they normally would be. So I'm starting to over curl. Considering I ain't had a haircut in like 5 weeks. My hairline is alright, you know. Hey, my hairline is pretty good, goddamn. But yeah, I'll probably have to cut my hair next week just to cut it down a bit, you know, because it's getting a bit out of hand right now. Some of you lot probably don't believe me because my hair's still laid right now. Let me show you something.
Oh! He needs some milk!
Look at this. Look at that shit. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Look. Boom. Boom. All the way up here somewhere, and that's with the shrinkage. So yeah, when I tell you I'm in my 5th week of my wolf, I'm being serious, bro. But yeah, so that's really it for wolfing. Make sure you like up this video. Let's get 10 likes on the video, man. Next video, I'm gonna show you guys, or I'm gonna tell you guys all about do-rags, man, and adding compression to your hair so you can manage your wolf correctly, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, make sure you subscribe, put the post notifications on, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video, man. It's been that G-Tal D, wave to the world, and I'm out.